Hey guys, what's going on? Oink here, and this is going to be the first of 4 episodes in my E3 roundup. This is just going to be some fairly short episodes of my highlights for E3. It's going to be one on Xbox, one on Sony, one on Nintendo, and finally one on third-party development. So the first one, which was also the first conference of E3, was the Xbox conference. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this episode. Now, on the whole, Xbox focused almost entirely on Kinect and how Kinect is going to be, usable in the games coming up, and what sort of projects it's going to be, used in. And I found a lot of the things that they were showing off about was doing things that you would normally see in real life on the Kinect, and I didn't feel it was particularly interesting. It was like some woman was showing off about how you could scan in a skateboard, and then you can, for the first time ever, skateboard using Kinect. It's just like, why don't you just get that very same skateboard that you own, since you have to have it to scan it in, and go outside your house and actually skateboard? Like, have they not thought about that as a possibility? Like, I think for me, the best thing about Move controller, the better of the Wii games, PS3, Xbox Kinect, is doing stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to do. That's some of the thrill of some games, is it's taking you out of the realms of normal, doing things you don't normally do. If you're scanning in your skateboard so that you can skateboard in a virtual reality, why would you not just do that in reality? Like, fair enough if it's putting you in the shoes of some guy on the front lines of a war, if you don't want to be shot at yourself, that's something you're not necessarily going to do, something that's a bit different. But doing something that you can and probably do in reality, it just seems completely entirely pointless to me. I can see that there are people that are going to like it, but for me that was really stupid. They also showed some good stuff. They started with Modern Warfare 3. Of course, it's a hard hitting game. They've got Activision under their wing now. That's part of their selling point, is we've got Modern Warfare 3 exclusive stuff coming first to us. So they had the trailer. I think it was the submarine trailer. There's also been a New York trailer where they're running through New York and stuff. So there's those 2 gameplay trailers. I'll be having some gameplay up in the video here, just some clips from around E3 relating to what I'm talking about, so I'm sure you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Obviously they had Mass Effect 3 in there with some Kinect stuff. They had Gears 3, and at the very end they announced Halo 4, and I think what they said was Halo 4 is the beginning of a new trilogy. So for Halo fans, that's a great sign. You got a new Halo and possibly even 2 more. Not 100% sure on that one, but that seems like the direction they're going in with that one. They also had Tomb Raider. Now, Tomb Raider has been like a star of the show. A lot of people have been talking about it, and the reveal trailer was the CG trailer was fantastic. I thought that it looked awesome in that, and then they showed some gameplay which also looked really good. They've gone back to the roots, so this is before Lara Croft has become Tomb Raider. It's kind of her introduction, how she became who she is, and who we know, how we know her as. But it looked really good, so I'm excited for that. That looked good. Unfortunately for them, I mean, from a business standpoint, this was great. But from a viewer standpoint, it was really not great. What they showed was some really, I'm going to say childish. They had a Disneyland, a virtual Disneyland, or Disney World, I don't know the difference, but they had a virtual, we've built Disney World in full in Xbox, and come and join in with Kinect and fly around and do this, that and the other. And it's just like, for the people at the show, they're all like you know, game reviewers, people who are interested in gaming, all that kind of stuff, they probably couldn't care less. The mass gaming people who are going to be watching E3 really couldn't give a damn about that, and they probably think it makes Xbox look like a right bunch of idiots. From a business standpoint, it's fantastic for Xbox because it means that once it gets out there to the mass public, you know, parents are going to see that and they're going to think, wow, great, now I can get an Xbox for myself and have my kids involved playing Disneyland. And they also had a Sesame Street one, and it, you know, for the actual show, it absolutely made the show completely bad at that point. It just ruined the show for me. But from a business standpoint, that's probably going to do really good for them. They also showed all this stuff about this home hub thing and Bing search, which is quite cool, but it feels quite unnecessary. Most people have a computer for searching for media and stuff. I think they're trying to create this whole home entertainment system just on your Xbox, but the problem for me is Xboxes aren't powerful. You know, that's why they're such a good, they're so well priced, is because as a console they're not very powerful. So I feel that them trying to create this whole home entertainment center thing, it may have some neat features, but I really don't think it's going to work, just because Xbox doesn't have that raw power that, for example, a PlayStation 3 or a top quality computer would have. So that's about all I've got in terms of my highlights for the Xbox conference. I think overall I would give it maybe a 6.5. You know, it had some cool stuff, it had some cool trailers, but I think they focused entirely and completely heavily on Kinect, which I feel isn't a particularly interesting area. I don't think Kinect is that great. And they also had some really bad stuff for the show, like Disneyland and Sesame Street. So, all in all, I think about a 6.5 for them. So, stay tuned for my next episode, which I will be going into the Sony conference. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.